Hey guys, good evening. Guys, if you're able to see my screen, just type S in the chat box so that we can get started. Yeah, thanks for the confirmation. So let's continue wherever we have stopped in the previous session. So I'll take you to this. Let's go to the notes, and using the notes, we'll continue with the API testing. So here are the notes. So today I'll be first taking up this HTTP methods topic first. Okay, I'll be taking the HTTP methods first. Okay, hope you're able to see the information in the notes. So this is what I'm going to cover first. We are going to do a lot of research on these topics, not just explanation. Along with my explanation, I'm also going to do some research on these topics, okay? Live. So let's begin. So guys, whenever we are performing API testing, for example, say in Postman tool or whatever it is, let me open the Postman tool. Okay, let me open the Postman tool here. Whenever we are performing API testing, I just select allow. So here if you see, there's a API request. In the last session, I covered different components of this URL, right? Hope you now understand what is this, what is this, what is a path, and all those stuff, right? Everything you understood about the API request URL. That is good now. Now, there are many other items in this. Okay, this looks like a very simple API request, but along with the API request in this Postman tool, if you see, a lot of other items are there. What if I click on the send button? I'll get one response here, and here I'm getting some status code. Here, while clicking on send, right here, I mentioned the HTTP method as get. There's something known as get, and here some status code is coming. Along with the response, some status code is coming. So today, we'll look first into this part. There are a lot of methods, right? There are a lot of methods here like get, post, put, patch, delete, head options. Like this, different methods are there. I'm going to explain all these methods for you. Yesterday's session, I covered this area. What are the different components of this API request URL I covered in a general way. Now today, we'll start with this part. Okay. So that is nothing but HTTP methods. Everyone type HTTP methods in the chat box. I want everyone to type HTTP methods in the chat box. Another important components of API while performing API testing, another important thing that you guys have to learn is HTTP methods. Okay, HTTP methods. Fine. So what are HTTP methods? What are the different HTTP methods available? What are the different HTTP methods available? First one is a get method. Then anyone know any other HTTP methods apart from the get method? Get is one. Anyone know anything? Yes, post is another one. Get post. Yes, put. Then patch. Then any other? Delete. Options. Head. Like this, many HTTP methods are there. Okay, if you want to know the final list, you can click here in the Postman tool. You see get, post, put, patch, delete, head options. Clear? So everyone type the list of HTTP methods we have. Okay, it's a good thing to remember this HTTP methods, guys. Okay, when someone asks you what are the different HTTP methods that you can use in APIs and all, okay, while performing the API testing, okay, you should provide this list. So start typing this HTTP methods in the chat box. Get, post, put, patch, delete, head option. Just type once. Okay, it will be easy for you to remember. Okay, once you type, you can remember. That's the reason I'm asking you to type. Okay. Yes, get, post, put, patch, delete, head options. Yes, correct. Okay, options. So let's go through one by one HTTP methods. So fine. So we already know that there will be a client and there will be a server, right? This we have been using this example from the first session of this API testing. If you remember, okay, this is a client and this is a server. Okay. So in the client side, for example, if you are, okay, hitting some, if you're performing some operation like browsing an application page URL or whatever it is, or trying to log into the application or whatever it may be, a request will be sent to the server. A request will be generally sent to the server. And the server side, the code that is used for developing this application that you are using on the client side, the code for developing the application using the backend programming language like Java, Python, C Sharp, Ruby, etc. will be at the server side, right? So when this URL is hit or when you perform some operation, a request will be sent to the server and appropriate code will run. And as a result of this appropriate code running, a response will be sent back to the client machine in the form of, we'll get something like HTML, JavaScript, CSS, cookies, tokens, etc., etc. A lot of things will be sent in the response. This is called as a response. This is called as a response. Now, this is an API request. Okay, whatever the request that is being sent to the server, okay, from the client to server is called as an API request, and different components of the API request, like it looks like a URL, right? API request will look like a URL. Along with the API request, we'll send one thing known as HTTP method also will send. With every API request, we have to send a HTTP method. What are the different HTTP methods that can accompany this API request URL? It can be GET. This HTTP method can be GET, it can be POST, it can be PUT, it can be PATCH, it can be DELETE, it can be HEAD, it can be options. But only one HTTP method at a time with a single API request URL. So with which API request URLs, which HTTP methods need to be sent? There is a reason. Okay. For every HTTP method to be used with API request URL, there is a reason. When you will use get HTTP method, when you will use post HTTP method, when you will use put HTTP method, when you will use patch HTTP method, when you use delete HTTP methods, when you will use options HTTP method, when you will use head HTTP method. Okay. That I'm going to cover now one by one. First one, get. The name itself says get. Get means what? Getting something. From where? Getting something from where? Tell me guys. From the server. That's correct. 100% right. Okay. If you want to retrieve some information from the server with the help of this API request, if you want to retrieve some information from the server, then you have to use which HTTP method? Tell me guys, which HTTP method need to be used along with the API request URL? Get, to retrieve the information from the server. So what are the different examples, where you will use get kind of stuff? Okay, I'll give you multiple examples here, guys. For example, uh, if I hit this URL, if I browse this URL, okay, if I press enter, is it get or post or put or patch or what do you say? This, when I hit this URL, which HTTP method may be used? Get only. You see, this page is coming as a result. Okay, when I hit this URL, this particular page is coming as a result. I'm not sending any information. Instead, I'm getting this HTML page along with the JavaScript code or CSS, etc., etc. when I hit this URL, right? So to cross check that, I'll just do one thing. I'll right click and select inspect option here and go to the network tab and clear all this stuff and hit this URL again. When I press this URL again, so this is the request, guys. Okay. You see, this is a API request URL, and it is using which HTTP method here? It's using which HTTP method here? Get HTTP method is being used. Okay. So what we are getting? We are getting some HTML code, CSS code, JavaScript code as a response from the server. Server is responding to this HTTP server is responding to this API request URL along with the get method. It's sending you some information that is regarding this page. Because of that, entire page got displayed on the browser here. Okay. So another place where I can explain about the get is, for example, I'll log into this application, guys. I'll first log into this application. Once I log into this application, I go to click on login button. If I log into this application, here, if I click on modify your address book, if I click on this, you see the list of addresses that are there will be coming. How they are coming, guys? Using which method they are coming? Using which method they are coming? Which HTTP method? Get HTTP method. The list of, okay, let's find it out. Okay, let's go back again. Right click here, select inspect option. Go to the network tab, clear this stuff, and I'll simply click on modify your address book entries. A list of addresses that are stored for this particular account will come here. Okay, click on this. You see, just go here and see. You see, request URL is this one. It's a get only. Okay. As a response, what is coming? List of addresses. that are there are coming as a response. Okay. So like that purpose, to get the list of addresses from the server, okay, for this particular account, get HTTP method need to be used. Understood, guys? Where exactly we have to use, where exactly the get HTTP methods will be used in the API request URLs and all. Okay, if the requirement is to fetch information from the server, get HTTP method will be used along with the API request URL. That's what is the thing. Okay. So developers will accordingly allocate the proper HTTP method when they give documentation for you. You are not going to specify any get for any particular. You are not going to map. Developers will do it for you and give you a documentation containing all the endpoints and all, and which HTTP method you need to use and all. They only will give. But we should have the understanding, right? Even though they will give, but we should have the understanding of which HTTP method for which purpose and all. As a software tester or as anyone, you need to have the understanding. Okay, that's why we need to learn which HTTP method for which type of thing. Okay, to fetch the information from the server, get. Fine. Okay. So let's try one thing. That is, let's do one thing. Let's go here, select inspect option, come back here, go to the network tab, clear this stuff, and again click on this. Where is this? This is the one, right? Headers. Just copy this URL once. Copy this URL once. Let's try this out. Okay. Let's go to the Postman tool. Let's go to the Postman tool and click on plus option here. And here I'll provide get only because I want to get the information from the server, retrieve the information. I'll provide this. I'll provide this. Okay. So, and then I think that's it, right? These credentials may be required, right? Without credentials, how can I get the information and all? I don't know whether it will work or not. So since here we have logged in, it will come, but here it's not there, right? So we cannot get it. Okay. We cannot work on that. So that's the reason we cannot use this kind of application because we don't have the entire permissions to use this API request of this application. Okay, we don't have the API request and the documentation of this application is not there. So what is a better thing? The better thing is that you just go for request.in. Now that's the reason we have to go for request.in. We cannot use this kind of application and replicate the same in Postman tool because we don't have the documentation. The developer of this particular application has not given any API documentation for us to perform testing. Only UI part of the application is there. If the API part of the application documentation is not there for this application, how can we go and use Postman tool and perform the testing of that APIs? Just by taking from the network tab, it won't be done, guys. Okay, it won't be possible. We have to do a lot of stuff. So for that, we need to get the documentation from the developer. Okay, so you cannot imagine like that and can do it. Okay, so better you go for this kind of websites where they give a lot of information for you how to use each and everything. Here you have list of users. Okay, if you want to get the list of users, this one open, and this is the endpoint. Copy this endpoint, guys. Copy this endpoint, which is nothing but an API request URL. Just don't save this, close all this stuff. I don't want to have any confusion here. So just click on this place and then paste it here. And here I'll provide get only. Okay, get method I'm using to retrieve the information. So what information this will get you? What information it will get you? That all information is here. When you hit this, you will get some list of users you will get, guys. Okay, some list of users you will get. You see, Michael, Lindsay, Tobias, Byron. Okay, like that. Some in second page you will get all the users. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is a get and this is the API request URL. I don't have to pass any information because using this API request or this endpoint, we are going to retrieve the information from the server. That's the reason we have used get HTTP method. Just click on the send button. The moment I click on the send button, you see a lot of information came here. Okay, in the JSON format we came. In the JSON format, we got the information from the server. Now copy all this stuff, guys. There is a copy option here. Okay, you don't have to select and control A and all those stuff. Just click on this copy to clipboard. This JSON information which has come from the server as a response here has been copied. Okay, to the clipboard. Now what I am going to show you here is this JSON. It's kind of very difficult for you to understand what is there in this JSON, right? So there are some tools online, guys. There are some tools online. Okay, JSON code beautifier, like this. You Google search, you'll get some links. Okay, code beautifier JSON viewer will come. Just click on this link. Once you click on this link, on the left side, you provide the JSON thing that came as a response in the, okay, This we have really used in testing as this will come to use like anything when you are performing testing of APIs, right? In real time, I have used this particular tool, JSON Code Beautifier, okay? So because it is not so easy to, it will be very lengthy, guys. In real time, this JSON code will be very lengthy, not this much small also, very lengthy. And the Postman interface, the Postman interface, you have to scroll like this up or down, you will face this problem in real time. When you are really working in real time, you will have a feel of using this JSON code beautifier. Okay. So paste it. And now we have several options here to view what is the response we got. Okay. Tree viewer. Okay. It will come as a tree. You can like this. You can use expand and collapse. This one you cannot do, right? You have to scroll like this. Okay. This one you can do it. Okay. Click on this. Now do this. Okay. Just click on, now you can clearly understand and verify the stuff easily. Whenever you are performing testing and you are verifying the response, right? Just imagine this one is better or this one is better in verifying the response. Tell me, guys, which one is better? I can verify the response this way or this one is better. This side is better, right? This one is more flexible for me. Okay. I can collapse it, expand this. Which I can clearly get the numbers, how many records are there. Okay. It is very easy. How many records I got. And each and every one I can collapse it and then check the next one. Okay. Then check the next one. You see, after this, avatars are also coming. Okay. I can go with the next one. You see, this is providing a lot of stuff. I can hover here and see the image also. That much beautiful it is. You see, Tree is lot of better, right? So I have really literally used this kind of tool, guys. Okay, when I have performed API testing in my company, right? Okay, in one of the projects, I have used this JSON VR because the response is not this much small. It's kind of very lengthy. I have to put here hundreds of records used to come. I used to put here, and you will feel the need of this JSON code beautifier when you are working in real time. So keep use this, guys. Okay, even you have this beautify option also. It's not that much great, but it will organize the things in better way. But tree viewer is more better. Okay, I feel tree viewer is a better one. Okay, I feel tree viewer is the best one. Okay, so hope you understood how to use a tree viewer to verify the response. Okay, that's one thing. So fine. So everyone clear about the get method, get HTTP method, and how it will retrieve, and once the information comes, how you can put that JSON kind of stuff into this. Like that, for everything there will be kind of this kind of tools will be there. You have to search online and you can verify them, guys. Okay. No need to learn that JSON. Can you explain how to create JSON? Just syntax, just syntax. You have to put starting and closing curly brace, and you have to provide the information in this format. Okay. And it's like an array. It's like an array of data. Okay. Data is a key value pairs will be there. Okay. Page two per page. Okay. Like this. It's a separate topic, Ramu. Okay. So if you want to learn JSON, right, it's a separate topic. I'll not be taking right now. I don't know whether it is there here or not. XML will be there here. XML is there, but JSON we have to see if it is there or not. This is one of the good website where you can learn a lot of basic terms easily. Okay, basic things easily. Okay, so otherwise you can go with the ChatGPT or something, and then learn it from there. But I'll not explain right now. All these technologies I'll cover later. Okay, all these technologies I will cover later. A lot of things are there like XML, JSON, YAML. Many things are there. Okay. Yesterday someone was asking about YAML, right? Okay, like that. Many things are there. Okay, so you can take the help. Okay, so you can say JSON tutorial or something online, and you'll get all the information. JSON is also there here, but somehow we didn't find it. Okay, JSON. You see, JSON example. Key value pairs will be there under the curly braces. Okay. So at a high level, what is JSON? Key value pairs will be there. It's very easy to learn. It doesn't take much time. You see, syntax and all everything they are giving. It generally contains name value pairs or key value pairs separated by commas. Okay. This is one key and this one value. Key is separated by surrounded by double quotes, and key and value or name key and value are separated by colon symbol, and value is also surrounded by double quotes. That is one thing. If only one key value is there, we can write like this. But if you have multiple, you have to separate this every key value pair by comma. Okay, we have to separate every key value pair by comma. Then different types will be there like string, number, array is there. Square brackets means array. Okay. If you go here, you see name is equal to John. For number, they have done not surrounded by double quotes. For string only, they surrounded by double quotes. Then objects, you can also represent the objects like this, okay? Employee and each object, this is an object. JavaScript, if you learn JavaScript, right, you will understand this part, guys, okay? This concept is from JavaScript, okay? When tomorrow, like when time comes, I'm going to teach you JavaScript because JavaScript and TypeScript we need to learn for Playwright, okay? In one of the future sessions, as part of this full stack QA training that I'm taking, I'm going to teach you JavaScript also, okay? So at that time you'll understand what exactly this JavaScript is, okay? This called as an object in JavaScript. Here, name of the object is employee, and this is how the object can be represented. Object will contain multiple key value pairs separated by comma. This is called as an object, okay? So we can also include objects here. Then we can also include arrays. Arrays will have the square bracket. In current example that just now I have shown you, right? The current example where I have showed you in JSON viewer or something, right? Where is that JSON viewer? Okay, here. Can you see the square brackets? This is called as an array. Array of elements. A list of items will be there. You see, 6 elements are there in this array. Okay, to represent that. Data is holding this 6 items, 6 entities. Here, this is one element, this is another element like that. Okay, so a lot of basics will be there like this at a high level. So like that, many things, guys. Okay, hope you got some at least some high level idea. Ramu, hope you got some at least high level idea, right? About JSON. Did you get some at least some idea? Okay, you can now take the help of ChatGPT or something and create a JSON file containing hotel menu list items. Okay, let's see. It will create one example. You can understand clearly. So how did they create and all? You can clearly see how did they use items and all. You see here what did they use? Curly brace starting ending. In that they created an object. They created an object, menu object, colon. This is the starting of the object. This part is the ending of the object. In that object, 3 items are there. Breakfast is one item, lunch is another item, dinner is another item, and beverages is another item. 4 items they have created. For every item, there are list of items, right? They have used array. They have used array. Okay. This is one item in the array. This is another item in the array. In case of lunch, element of the object, menu object is there. In that, lunch is there. Again, we have some other items. Okay. These are array elements. These are array elements. If you know any particular programming language, you can understand this, guys. Okay. And here another array is there. Here another array is there. Combination. Now you're able to understand the JSON files. Guys, able to understand the JSON files. The more you practice, yes, that's it. Like XML only. Parth, that's correct. XML is also same thing, right? XML is also same thing. It will to transfer the information between two different systems. Okay. As a translator or communicator or transporter, XML will be used generally. Nowadays, XML is not being used. People are using JSON. JSON is lightweight when compared to XML. So instead of XML, people went to JSON. But JSON has its own rules and regulations of how to structure the data and all when compared to XML. Okay, XML looks very simple, but JSON has some kind of an advanced object-oriented technology will be there. Okay, JSON is okay. JavaScript object notation. Okay, the name itself says JavaScript object notation kind of notation it is using to structure the data. XML doesn't have such kind of object notation. Normal notation it has. Okay, JSON has some object notation. So here menu is an object case. Menu is nothing but an object containing multiple items in it, and each and every item has an array. You see, you can make it complex. Step by step also you can learn all this stuff, guys. And each and every item is a key value pair. Menu is one thing, value is nothing but the object. Here breakfast is one thing, array is an object like that. Okay. Yes, JSON data will be in key value pairs. Correct. That's correct. Okay. So like that, you have to understand the JSON. So we'll see the JSON later, but at a high level, is that clear for you guys? At a high level, is that clear for you? At a high level, can you understand now the JSON? Here you see key value. This is not an object. Okay, key is there and its value is not an object. Normal number is there. This is a key and normal number is there. This is a key and normal number is there. This is a key and normal number is there. But the next one is a key, but it's not a normal number. It's an array. It's an array. Sometimes it will be an array, sometimes it will be an object. Object will be in curly braces, array will be in square brackets like that. Okay. Now you can clearly understand what is JSON and some structure of JSON you are able to understand. Ramu, is that clear for you now? Ramu, is that clear for you now? At a high level at least, not in depth, but okay, right? Okay, okay. That is enough for now. Okay, fine, great. Let's move forward, guys. Let's move forward. You see, a lot of things like this we can do research and go forward, not a problem. Everything we need to learn. But I will take a session for you, definitely on JSON, guys. In one of the in coming days, I'll take you. Okay, don't worry. So every technical topic I'll take, including HTML, CSS, JavaScript, okay, JSON, anything that we use in full stack UA, even SQL and everything will cover that. Okay, don't worry, things are going to come in the upcoming days. I'll do that. Okay, then next one is what? Post. Post is used for what purpose? Post is for what purpose, guys? What is the purpose of the post? To create our post information. To create our post information. Okay, the purpose of the post is what? The purpose of the get is to get information. The purpose of the get is to get information from server. What is the purpose of the post? The purpose of the post is to create or post information to the server. Just give me some example of creating, guys. Just give me some example of creating. What can come in creating part? What is an example of creating, guys? Tell me. What is an example of creating? What is an example of creating? Yes, creating an account. Creating an account, right? If I say creating, in this application, if I ask you an example, in this tutorials in the application that we generally see, if I ask you to, okay, if I ask you to give an example for creating purpose, what can be the example? If I go to register and here I'll give all the information and click on continue, some data will be created at the server side, yes or no? Right? Creating an account is an example or not? Yes or no? Do you agree with me? Registering an account is an example for creating? Yes. And if I go to the login, here am I creating anything? When I try to log in here, am I creating or posting? Am I creating or posting? I'm posting this information or creating this information? I'm posting. But for creating, freshly creating an account or posting the information, for both the things, which HTTP method is required? For creating and posting, which HTTP method is required? Either for creating or for posting. Post is the one. Okay. Whether you are dealing with creating stuff or whether you are dealing with posting stuff. For both the things, post need to be used. For both the things, post need to be used. Let's try it out and understand. Okay. Just from this example, and later we'll go to request.in and try all the other examples. That's okay. First, let's go here and search for the application, and I'll go to this. Okay, what happened to the application? Yeah, it's called good. Yeah, click on register here. Click on register here. Doesn't matter now. Okay, let the register account page come. Let the register account page come, guys. Just wait. Application is kind of slow. That's okay. Right click here and select inspect option meanwhile and click on network tab and just make it down here. And I'll give some information here. Okay. I'm going to create the information. Okay. I'm not posting the information. I'm creating the information in this case. Which kind of method will be used? Naturally, we'll try to find it. Okay. So I'll just try to give some information, random information here. Okay, done. Then telephone number, then password. I'll give some password. I'll give some confirm password. Okay, select all these options. And now I'll just take it up, close all this stuff, go to the network tab, clear all this stuff. And the moment I click on the continue button, in an API request will be sent. It should have which method, let's see. Okay, I've done that. Okay, I've done that, guys. And just go here and scroll here and see. This is a API request URL. And this is which method it is. For creating which method is being used. While creating an account, which method is being used, guys? Post. Hope you are able to understand that. Post HTTP method is being used. That's what is important. Okay. Post HTTP method is being used, guys. Okay. Fine. Okay. Post HTTP method is being used. That's great. So now you understood. For posting, that is there. Similarly, for logging in, I'll just log out and go to the login page. And here I'll try to log in. This time I will be posting which HTTP method is being used. Let's find it out. Okay, inspect this. Go here, go to the network tab, clear all the stuff, and here enter the credentials. The moment I click on the login button, an API request will be sent, And that API request URL is using which method? Let's find it out. Okay, click on this login, and here we have this. Just click here. Which HTTP method is being used for posting, guys? For posting the credentials to the server while logging in. Again, the same post only. Okay, post. Now clear, guys, where the post will be used is clear for everyone. Guys, everyone clear? In which situations post will be used, in which situations get will be used. These are the important ones. First few are very important one. Get is important, then post is important. Okay, either for posting or for creating, we need to use post HTTP method. Okay, so I cannot use this application for testing in the Postman tool. I told you the reason already. But if you want to practice that kind of stuff, you have to go to this sample website, which is giving you some open API. Okay, APIs for practice purpose. I'll scroll down here, and here we'll go with the post one, creating. For creating and posting. Okay, for creating and posting, we can use this. Okay, this is post. Post of what? I don't know. What is this actually doing? Otherwise, I'll go with this one. Okay. Another post is the register successful is there, right? This one I'll do. Login is for posting. Register is for creating kind of post. This is creating kind of post. This is posting kind of post. Okay. I'll go with this register successful, and this is the API request. I'll take this API request and go here and paste it here and change the HTTP method to which one? Post. Post HTTP method I'll change. I'll change this one to the post HTTP method. And after that, is it done? No. You see, whenever you are creating or posting, do we need to send some data to the server? Yes or no? Either you are creating or posting, do we have to send some data to the server? Along with this API request and HTTP method and all, do we have to send some data to the server? Yes. In case of this API request, you can clearly see as per the documentation given by request.in, they clearly mention which data we need to pass. It is in which format, guys? Tell me. Now, looking at this particular data that we have to pass to the server using the API request along with the HTTP method, in which format it is there? Yes, JSON format. Can you now understand the JSON format here? Guys, can you understand this JSON format? Curly braces, key value pairs are there. Okay, key value pairs are there. Multiple key value pairs are separated by comma here. Okay, these are some basics. If you know the basics, that's are enough for the JSON. Copy this data. Data is being sent to the server in the form of JSON format only, and even response is also coming in which format? Once I hit the request and the response will come in which format? Response will come in which format, guys? Again, JSON format only. The data is also being sent to server in JSON format. The response that is coming from the server is also coming in JSON format. Okay, that's correct thing. Okay, copy this, guys. Okay, and come back here. And here, how to send the data in this Postman tool? How to provide the data? How to send it to the server? Tell me, guys. Here I have provided the HTTP method. Here I provided the API request URL. Then what I have to do? I have to go to which section in this API to pass the data to send to the server? Yes, body. I already covered this in the previous sessions, right? But I was trying to find out whether you remember or not. That's great. Most of the people are answering that you have to select body. Yes, I selected the body. After selecting the body, what I have to do? After selecting the body, what I have to do? My data is in JSON format. Do you see any JSON format here? None is there. Form data is there. XWWW form and URL encoded is there. Raw is there. Binary is there. GraphQL is there. JSON is not there. You should not get confused. You should not get confused here. Have to take raw. Okay, if you have JSON, you have to select raw. Once you select the raw, here a lot of varieties are there. In this, which one I need to select? Once I select raw, a lot of options are coming here. Text, JavaScript, JSON, HTML, XML. My data that I'm going to send to the server is in JSON format. I'll select JSON only. Okay, I'll select JSON. If my data that I need to send to the server is in XML, I'll select XML. Okay, like that. Okay, for here JSON is there. Once I select the JSON, I'm good to go. I can copy paste this one. Okay, whatever the data that I need to send in the JSON format to the server, I'll copy this one and go here and paste it. Now post HTTP method is there, API request URL is there, and I'm posting. What I'm doing is I'm creating this account, right? I'm creating. This data is used for creating the data. This is a creating data. For that HTTP post method is there. Now I'm going to click on the send button. The moment I click on the send button, unauthorized is coming. Why unauthorized is coming? We don't have permissions for using this request.in. Okay, especially for this kind of registration and login purpose, authentication is required. How to do this? How to overcome this authentication? Remember the process, guys. Remember the process, how to overcome this authentication problem in Postman tool for this request.in. Yes, I need to add the API key, right? Where I need to add? Where I need to go and add? Remember anyone? Where I need to add? in these sections that you see in the Postman where I have to go and add this API key? Headers, authorization. Yeah, many ways are there. I'll go to the authorization here. I'll go to the authorization, guys. This is one of the way. Select authentication type, API key, right? That is API key. Select the API key. And here I can give the API key and its value. Okay. What is the API key and value? Let's go here and get free API key. Just click on that. You will get the API key and value. This is the API key. Copy this API key. Go here and paste it. That is the API key. What is the value? This is the value. Copy this and give the value here. You can see the value. Okay. And add to the header you are saying. Add to the header you are saying. Okay. That's fine. Authorization. This is there. Click on send now. Is it now working? Is it now working, guys? After adding this API key to the authorization, is it now working? Yes, it's working. Okay. Just go to the headers. You see, whatever the thing that I added from the authorization to the header, right? That got added in the headers only. X API key and you can clearly see whatever the value we added. Okay. Both are same. Either you can go to the headers and also add it here. You can click on the key and give that also. Okay. For example, let's take this out. Let's clear this stuff. Let's clear this stuff and click on send. Again, you will get the problem. Now I'll go to the headers here. Okay. In the headers, what I'll do? In headers also I can add. I'll go here, copy this X API key. Either from the authorization tab I can add, or I can directly go to the headers and paste this here and give its value. This value I'll go here and give it here. Okay. Now click on send button. Is it working? Is it working, guys? Both ways I showed you. Either you can go to authorization or you can give this particular key and value as part of the headers also. Okay. Both are giving me the same results. Okay. That's fine. Okay. All good. This is all good, guys. Okay. This is all good. Fine. Next thing. Okay. Next thing, I'll show you a lot of stuff here. That's okay. We have added that authorization key and value. Either you can directly go to the headers or give add, and the data have went to the body and draw and JSON have given. You see, now you are slowly learning the Postman tool, right? This is how we are exploring the Postman tool step by step. Whenever that is required, we are learning the stuff. When I click on the send button, I am getting 200 okay, and I'll explain about this response codes later. If everything is okay, this kind of thing will come. And here we are getting a response. Are we getting the response in the expected format or not? Are we getting the response in an expected format or not? Just see here. Just close this stuff and go back and scroll down here. Am I getting that in the required format or not? Yes. You see the same way I'm getting. Some token I'm getting, some ID I'm getting, and I'm getting the response code also in the proper way. This is how we perform the testing. That's okay. I will go into testing later, but our focus is on the post. For creating, also we'll use post, and for what is other thing that we'll use for post, guys? What is other thing we'll use for post? For posting also. For posting the data. Not for creating, for posting also we'll use post only. Okay. That I'll show you just now. Before that, guys, I remember one thing and I want to showcase that. I'll go to the get command here. You see, here what is this called as? Yesterday in yesterday's session I covered this. After the question mark, if you see this kind of stuff, what is this called as? What is this called as, guys? Query parameters. Remember, guys, this is called as a query parameter. Param or query parameters or query param, whatever you call. You see, Postman tool has a thing that is whenever it sees some query parameter, right, in the API request URL, it will add under the params. Can you see the same thing? Page 2 is coming here. In the API request URL, page is equal to is there. That is being coming under the params here. Yes or no? That's what. Again, I'll do one thing. I'll do some experiment. And location is equal to HYD. Is it coming here? The moment I'm writing any number of query parameters here, all these things are getting added here. You see, that's a beauty. Okay. Topic is equal to API. Okay. There are three query parameters. You see, Postman has this kind of stuff. Okay. If you don't want to edit here, for example, you want to change the value of 2 here from here. Okay. I can click here and change it to 1. It will get changed in the URL. It will get changed in the URL. Got it? Here, if I change it to SEC, it got changed here. If I change it to API test, it will change here. Clear, guys? How to use the Postman tool is clear. The params part is clear. Params part of the I'm explaining all the stuff, guys. I'm explaining the HTTP methods along with that. I'm explaining the Postman features also side by side. Clear, no? You should get used to it and you should feel very confident in the coming days. When you use the Postman tool, you should have a feeling that I know everything, okay? That's the reason I'm covering all this stuff in detail. That's okay. Let's move on to the next one. For posting also, we'll use the post method. Just select the post method, guys, here. Let's go here to the request.in, and here login is for posting, right? Login is generally for posting. Let's get the endpoint. Okay, copy this endpoint, paste it here. Once you post the paste the endpoint. Okay, for posting also we need to send some data. We need to post some data to the server, right? To what is the kind of data that we need to post to the server? This is the data that I need to post to the server, that is in JSON format. Copy this. As you already know, we have to go to the body, we have to go to the raw. Okay, we have to select the JSON here and paste it, and also go to the headers and see the required key and value are there or not. Okay, we can add the key and value. Okay, what is the key and value we can add? What is the key here? X API key. Copy this, paste it, paste the key. And what is the value? This is a value. Copy this and paste it here. Now key and value are also added. Okay, body is also there. Key and values are there for permissions for testing this API and all. Post is there, login is there, information is there with this email address and with this password. Okay, separated by comma, key value pairs are there. The moment I click on send, here everything is okay. So 200 okay has come, and here I got a token. That means authentication token giving me the permission for the user to log into the application is coming here. So is this the expected response or not? Let's see, is this the expected response or not? Let's go here, login successful. Yes, this is the expected response. It's working perfectly fine. Clear with the post method, guys. Everyone clear with the post method now? Post HTTP method and get HTTP methods and some functionalities of the postman are clear for everyone. Great. Okay. You have learned get HTTP method, post HTTP method, and what is their purposes and all. And you also have learned some postman related features. Next one is what? Delete. To delete some information from the server, we have to use delete, guys. Okay. What is the purpose of the delete, guys? To delete some information from the server. We have delete, which is for to delete information from the server. Okay. To not to get the information, to delete the information from the server, we need to use delete HTTP method. Okay. Just reduce this size so that we have more area. So next HTTP method is a delete, which is kind of very simple, guys, which will delete the information from the server. Okay. Fine. Let's see what is delete here in the application. First of all, let's go and see in the application, guys. So I'll do one thing. I'll just go to this modify your address book entries, and you see a lot of items are there. Can you see the lot of items here? Address books are there. I want to delete one of the address and see what kind of API request it is using. What is the HTTP method it's using? I'll go to the network tag and clear it. I'll go to the network tab and clear it, and I'll try to click on delete. Okay, and see which API request and which HTTP method is coming or not. Okay, I'll click on delete, guys. It got deleted, but I just want to see what is happening here. So this is the one, right? What is happening, guys? What is happening? Which method is being used here? We thought it will be deleting, right? We thought it will be deleting, but what is being used here? What is being used here? Here delete is there. You see, we are deleting actually, but it is using get. This kind of stuff happens. You may not expect the proper HTTP methods in real time, guys. Okay, developers will be using this kind of stuff. Okay, developers will be using this kind of stuff. We thought here delete HTTP method will come, but we are surprised to see that get is there. Okay, so we'll go to ChatGPT and do some R&D, guys. This is expected only. So there are some reasons like developers will not use all the different type of HTTP methods always. Okay, they will use get also for deleting and all those stuff. Okay, I have okay, I have used an API request while performing API testing. Okay, and developer is using get HTTP method instead of delete HTTP method. Is this okay? Is this okay? Let's search like this. Okay. Okay, it's a problem. It's saying remove the data. Okay, this one should be used. Okay, so delete need to be used. They are saying. Uh, okay. So, but in most of the applications, I see get being used instead of delete for deleting information from server in API in API testing. Okay, API test. Okay, let's see what it will say. You are right to notice that in many real world applications, especially legacy or okay, developed ones, developers sometimes use Git for operations like this. This is what I'm talking about. Developers sometimes use Git for operations like this, but that doesn't make it correct or safe. Let's break this down, okay? Why Git is commonly used for delete? You see, I have observed this when I have worked in real time, right? This I have faced, okay? Developers are actually using Git method instead of the delete here, okay? Developers might find it easier to trigger a GET request via an anchor tag than use JavaScript for delete, okay? So backend framework default, some server frameworks like early PHP setups. You see, this application that I am testing, we are testing is PHP based only, okay? So, okay, historical defaulted to handling get or post, okay? They'll not use delete kind of stuff, lack of rest awareness, okay? Fine. So, why it's still not okay when it's common? It's not a good practice for developers, they are saying. Unsafe. Catches or crawlers may trigger it by accident. Non idempotent. It should be idempotent or not side effects, but deleting changes state. It will not change the state actually. Deleting has to change the state, but it will not change the states. Okay. Tools like Postman or test rely on verbs to act correctly. No future proof. Okay. So when you try to upgrade or something, it will become difficult. What you can do to as a tester in such kind of situations, what you have to do as a tester, you can report the defect clearly, explain that get is not meant to delete, and it could cause accidental data loss. Okay. Suggest using delete instead of get or something. Okay. And report the defect in the document tool. Fine. Anyhow, let's go to another application like, any real-time applications we'll use and, Amazon.in and, I'll go to the, this part. Sorry. I'll go to this part. Okay. It's asking me to log in. It's long period of time. I have been asked to log in here. Let me see if I remember anything. Let's click on this. Okay. Let's do. If I can go here and, you know, I'll be having different things, right? Your account is there. Your account is there and address is there. I'll go to the same address section and lot of sections are there here, guys. Okay. So I'll try to use this. Let's say inspect and I'll try to delete one of the address here. Okay. I'll try to delete one of the right click inspect here and go to the network tab and clear this stuff. Okay. Let me do one thing. Okay. A lot of things are there and any duplicate things are there. I'm just checking. Okay. Hmm. This one I'll try to delete, okay? This one I'll try to delete. I'll clear this stuff. A lot of things will keep coming, guys, Before that, I need to delete. Remove this. Yes. Let's see. Delete is coming. What type of thing has been used? What the developer has used here for deleting, guys? Surprisingly, in this kind of very big application also, what the developer has used? Post they have used. They have not used delete. In that e-commerce tutorials in the application, get is being used. In this real application, they have used post. That's what is the problem, okay? So, but it's not a good thing. Okay. Ideally, delete should be there in real time. Ideal things may not happen. Developers may use this different kind of thing in some applications like Amazon, .in, etc. Developers are using post in place of delete. Is that okay? Let's write like this and understand. Using post instead of delete in technical acceptance in some situations, especially when there are limitations here when it's done, how it's to do it safely. Acceptable use cases for post in place of delete. Browser client constraints. HTML forms only support get post natively, not delete. Okay. So some front ends or mobile clients might not easily support delete requests. So that may be the another reason why developers may have to use delete. Okay. In these cases, developers tunnel the action through post. For security and all, tunneling is required. So some cases, okay. The deletion requires extra data in the body. Okay. If the deletion requires some extra data in the body, post makes more sense than delete, which usually doesn't support a request body reliable across all servers. How to use post safely for deletion? Post must be explicit and clear. And here delete will be mentioned here. You see, in the API request, some delete is mentioned. If you clearly observe here, there's some delete kind of thing here mentioned clearly, right? Okay, even though it is post in the API request URL, delete is there. That's what they are saying here. Okay, if you must use post, make it explicit and clear. The endpoint should clearly indicate it's a delete action, not a general data post. Okay, some delete related information should be there. And 204 no content found should kind of response should come, they are saying. So what is the response we got? I don't know. You see, no response is coming. Okay. And headers found is there, but that's okay. 200 okay, or 204 no content should come. Fine. If you can use delete, but the developer is just using post out of habit, that's a missed opportunity for clear RESTful design. Okay, post delay action with just constants, but it should be done explicitly and with proper documentation. Okay, so sometimes it's okay to use post, guys, but you can check with your developer whether it is really required to use post or not, or it's delete is a better thing or not. But get is not the correct way. At least people can use post in place of the delete to delete the things. But anyhow, for practice purpose, we can go to the request.in, and here we have some things known as delete kind of things may be there. You see, delete is there. We have a delete thing, delete a request, and we should get an empty response. No content should come, and response code should be 204. Okay, let's see. Open this. But in real time, this is not happening, right? Most of the applications you are not coming across delete, but here maybe rarely you may see. That's okay. So click on plus and paste it here, and here I'll write delete method, and then I'll just click on send. Yeah, API key need to be given. Here we need to add the API key. What is the API key, guys? Every time I need to give the API key here. So for that, we'll find a solution anyhow. Okay, here get API key, and we need to copy paste this one. Okay, X API key. Go here and give the key, and the value you give here. Okay, done. Click on send now. Now 204 no content kind of response is coming, and here no content is coming. The response nothing is coming. That's what is expected, right? As per this example, that's what is expected. Just go back here, you'll see that is the expected thing. Okay, for delete, that's the expected thing. It's very rare to find the delete in the real applications. It's very rare to find the delete in the real applications. So keep checking, guys. If you find any application where a delete kind of HTTP method is being used, just let us know in the WhatsApp group here. Okay, try to find out, guys. Okay, I'll give an assignment here for you guys. Assignment. Try to find any application where, okay, uh, find any application functionality where delete delete HTTP method is being used for delete operations. Okay, for delete operations. Okay, just find it out. Just find it out, guys. If you find anything, just let us know in the WhatsApp group. Okay. But here we are only learning it from the request.in here, but that may exist in some applications that we are not able to find right now. Okay. So whatever the applications I'm showcasing, whether in real applications also, it's not there, guys. So can't help. Okay, fine. Let's close all this stuff. For the next one here we have, okay, the next one, get is done, post is done, delete is done. And the next one is a put, guys. Next one is a put. What is the next one, everyone? Put and patch. You see, when you are learning put, you have to learn put and patch together. Okay. You have to learn put and patch together. Why I'll tell you. Okay. There are two items. One is put, another one is patch. Put is one thing, patch is another one. Okay. What is the difference between put and patch? For updating the information. Why we have to use put and patch? Both are used for updating the information. Okay, put is used for updating, patch is using for updating information. Okay, both are used for updating information on server, for not for deleting or posting or creating. I'm saying updating. Okay, existing information is there on the server, that information you have to update. Updating information on server we have to use. For updating information on server, what need to be used, guys? Put and patch HTTP methods need to be used. Put and patch HTTP methods need to be used for updating information on the server. For updating the information on the server, we can use either put or patch. In which situations we have to use put and which situations we have to use patch? If you are using put, okay, and suppose there is some information, guys, okay, there is some information like name is there, last name is there, some ID is there, okay, ID is there, some location is there, okay, location is there. Out of all these things, I want to update the location only. I want to update the location only. In case of put, I have to pass all this information. Even though I want to update Hyderabad to Secunderabad, okay, this information also I need to provide, okay. In case of put, all info need to be given. All info needs to be given, okay. All info given. Though my requirement is to update only Hyderabad to Secunderabad, but I need to give all this information like my first name, last name, ID and location, everything, new location, everything I need to give with put. But coming to patch, okay, no need to give all info, okay, just give the location that you want to update, okay, only this much is enough. Only this much is enough. Okay. No need to give all info. This is also for updating. But while updating with patch, you don't have to give the entire information. While updating with put, you have to give the entire information along with the latest one. Okay. Latest updated value. You have to give first name, last name, ID, and then give the new value, that is Secunderabad. Here in case of patch, no need to give this first name, last name, and this thing. Only I need to pass the place. Okay. This one that I need to update. That is the difference between put and patch. You can go here to ChatGPT again. We'll go to the ChatGPT once, guys. Okay. And let's try to understand the put and patch in detail. Okay. Let's try to understand the put and patch in detail. Put and patch in APIs. Okay. Let's find out the details. In RESTful API, put and patch are two actions used to update resources on a server, but they differ in how they perform the update. Coming to put, full update. You need to give all the information. Okay. Okay. You need to give, suppose you have a user object sending a put. Okay. Patch, partial update. You just have to give only this part. Here while putting, you are giving two information, okay? You want to update this Alice to Alice B, okay? This two information need to be given. But here, just Alice B is enough. You don't have to give email address here, okay? You don't have to give the email address here. Just give the name, that is enough. Replace an entire resource, update part of a resource. Okay? Why? In which situations? In which situations developers use put and patch, as both are for updating purpose only. Okay, let's see. When developers use push full update, replacing the entire resource, the client sends a complete new representation of the resource in a profile update from where all the fields name are submitted. Ensuring resource consistency, put ensures the server resources matches exactly what was sent by the client, nothing more, nothing less. The client needs a consistent update outcome even if the request is sent multiple times. Why developers use patch, update only a few fields. Maybe it all depends on the client requirement, guys. When client will say that, I want entire thing to be replaced. Okay. When you update something, I want all the data along with the required data. All the other data which is not changing also should be updated if it is compulsory. When you are updating only one item, along with that, remaining items also need to be updated whether required or not. Okay. If that is a client requirement, generally developers will go with put. If according to the client requirements, only that area can be updated. Remaining, or if they are not changing, no need to provide them. If the client is giving such kind of situations, then we'll use patch. You see, it bandwidth problems will be there. Entire resource updating is not good. In such kind of situations also, patch can be used. Used in apps where, some flags or something, okay, only need to be changed. Replace the whole resource, update only part of the resource, this one. Must send all current fields, this one. Only want to send what changed, this one. Okay. It's all API design philosophy, guys. Client side constants, client will, okay, and server side implementation and support, okay. So depending on the technical stuff, client stuff, and the philosophy that developers are following, we'll do that. Okay, idempotent, right? I've seen that. Again, I forgot. That's okay. Yeah, there is a word known as idempotent. Changing the state, right? If I remember, that is changing the state. It's like a technical term. Idempotent is a technical term without changing the state or with changing the state. Okay. Idempotent. It is a technical term. Okay. An idempotent operation is one that has same effect no matter how many times you perform it. It will not change the state or something. Okay. Uh, it's giving me a different answer. Just go here and let's try this out. Okay. Idempotent. Okay. Idempotent. The term idempotent refers to an operation that can be applied multiple times without changing the result behind the initial application. Okay, it's okay. Examples, let's see. We'll understand. Okay, you can see the get method is an idempotent S because fetching the information will not change anything on the server side. Put is an idempotent, replaces resource, repeated calls do the same thing. Delete, delete resources, repeated calls still is not there. Post will create new resource each time, so it is not an idempotent. It's same. Okay. You see, with get, put, delete, things will not change on the server. New resource will not be created. Hence, they are idempotent. Otherwise, they are something like that is there. Okay. For post only, the new things will be created on the server side. So post is an non-idempotent. For other things like get and all, updating and getting and all, they are not going to change. That is idempotent. Despite of lot of request things, if nothing is changing on the result, that is called as idempotent. If something is changing, that is called as non-idempotent. That's what is the information I got. Okay. Okay. At a high level, understand the terminology, guys. That's okay. What is that, Rajkumar? Seems to be an ID is present or not means what? Okay. That record is there or not, you mean to say? Rajkumar, are you saying the record is available or not? With the help of ID and all you are saying? Yes. Okay. Correct. The same record is there, no matter what you are doing, the same record is there. That's idempotent. If the record itself, new record is coming with the new things and all, okay, that is called non-idempotent. Okay, fine. We are changing the state or something of something that is called as non-idempotent. Okay, fine. Okay, that's a good thing that we have explored something new. Then, yeah, put and patch are there. Okay, updating by providing all the information again, update by providing only the required information missing. But here, if I go to this request.in, if I go to the request.in, I don't have proper example of, I don't have a proper example of this put and, I don't have a proper example of this. Just give me a second. I don't have a proper example of put and post. Okay, put and post are provided here. Okay, put and post are provided here. Put and post are provided here. Put is there here for updating. Sorry, put and patch, right? Sorry, put and patch. Both are for updating only they have given. But here also same information they have given. Here also same information they have given. I don't see any difference in this. Okay, there's not a perfect example for us. Okay, there's not a perfect example for us. For updating the information, we can either use put or patch. But put, you can know that all information you have to provide. In patch, you don't have to give the all the information. Okay, I'll go to ChatGPT and ask it to give an example where I of put and patch. Okay, give a sample. Give sample API requests for practicing, put and patch, put and patch, HTTP methods. Let's see if it can give something. You see, nowadays ChatGPT is there. You don't have to search the entire web. Maybe if it is available. I don't have the examples here, but I'm just trying to find out, I don't have any examples here, but I'm trying to find out whether there is a possibility for that or not. Okay. Okay. It's taking a lot of time, means it's able to find or not. I don't know. Okay. It's able to find something. Okay. It's explaining actually. For testing, you can try with the tools or mock APIs like request already done, right? Okay. Okay. Any real API examples for practice? Okay. Request, they are giving something, and so JSON placeholder. This one will go and see if anything is there. Just go and search here if I can find something. There's a lot of try it when to use. So put is there, post. Okay. Roots and all, use your own data, it's saying, but nothing is being given, guys. Okay. Any other thing? API challenge, something is there, I will tester and all. Here, put is there. API request fetch, method is there. Put method, body is given. Okay. So for patch they are giving only foo they are giving. You see, they're only giving foo for the patch. They're not giving the remaining stuff, patching a resource. Okay. I think we can try this out, guys. Let's copy this. Let's copy this. If any API key or something is there for this, let's try this out and see if this is possible. Okay, I can give a proper example. That's the reason I'm trying here. Just click on this. Okay, I'll give this entire thing, and for this ID one, I'll go with the put here. I'll give the entire information. I'll go to the body here. I'll go to the raw and select JSON here, and I'll copy this. This is a JSON part. You see, entire thing. Even though I'm updating only title, I want to update only the title part, guys. I want to update only title, but I need to give all the information like ID, body, user ID, everything I need to give. Okay, so let's go here and give it here. I want to change it to, okay, change it to API. Okay, and then click on send button. I don't know whether I have permissions or not, but token is at position. What is saying actually? Internal server error. It's not serving actually, but maybe token syntax error or token. How to practice this? Is there any API thing or something that I can use? Headers. We need to give some headers or something. Just give me a second. Content type. Just give me. Okay. Bearer token. Someone has written something. Okay, did I do any mistake? Any okay, sorry. This is the one, right? This is the one thing. Yes, comma is not required. Click on send. Still, yeah, double quotes need to be there, na? Generally, when you are passing. Let's give double quotes. There is some mistakes in this. That's correct. This is also double quotes. This is one thing we need to do the changes here. Generally, this JSON will have the double quotes for the string kind of stuff. For numbers, you don't have to give double quotes. For text, we need to give double quotes. Here also double quote. Here also double quote. Number not records. Click on send. Yeah, now I am getting the response. Is it changed? Yes, it got changed. Now it's working fine, guys. Okay. Yes, it is working fine. Okay. This is a put where for updating I need to give all the stuff. Okay. What if I give only, for example, Sam or something I'll give and I don't give all this information? What will happen? Let's see. For with put, I don't want to give all this stuff. Okay. What will happen? Let's see. Click on send. They are getting replaced or something. I don't know. Okay. Title Sam is coming, ID is coming, but remaining information is not coming maybe. So here I have to use patch. In this kind of situations, I have to use patch. Then I'm getting all the information. Okay. So I'll just Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Okay. I'll say KPC. Click on send. I'll put and then click on send. What is coming when I say send? You see all the information is coming. But if you are not giving, only the record is getting replacing the values. Okay. There are some problems are there. Some problems are there. But in case of patch, if you clearly observe, even though I am providing only one part also, remaining all four items are coming in the response. If I give ABC, the four items are still coming. You see, four items are still coming. Okay, all the items. Yes. Put will allow partial and full, but it's replacing actually. The entire record is getting replaced. Okay, partial data it's replacing. So it's better not to use whenever you are using put, right. Provide all the information. Otherwise, you will get the record at the server side will get problems. In case of patch, no matter whether you provide all this one item also, everything is remaining all are getting intact. It's not disturbing the other items. You are getting that clarity, right? When I'm using put, if I'm passing only one item, remaining all items are getting replaced with null. Only one item is getting updated. This is not a wrong practice. That is a wrong practice, right? It's disturbing the things. When I use put, even though I'm passing one item, all the four items are coming because only one is getting updated. That is a proof. Okay? Clear everyone? The difference between put and patch is clear. Wherever the developer wants only particular information can be updated, then they will use patch. uh, when particular item need to be updated but all the information need to be provided, it's mandatory to update all the information. When you provide something, when you update something, it's mandatory to provide all the other information along with that. Then developer will use put. Okay, if all the other information need not be updated, okay, when only particular item need to be updated, developer will go with patch in the API request. Okay, hope it is clear for everyone. Hope guys this is clear for everyone. Great. Okay. So these are the important HTTP methods, guys. These are the important HTTP methods that I wanted to cover today. I know there are other type of HTTP methods like head, options, connect, and trace, which you are going to, uh, you know, learn in depth in the next weekend. Okay. In next weekend, we are going to look into head, options, connect, and trace. Okay. In detail. For today, these are the different methods. Okay. Important HTTP methods I covered in today's session, that is get, post, delete, put, and patch. So practice this on different websites and see, and go, and the assignment here is very simple. Go to different applications and see and try to perform different operations. Open the network tab, clear the stuff to see what type of operations are being performed, and track your observations. Okay. The more you observe the applications, the more the idea you'll get about these methods. Okay. Which methods are being used. These are general methods that will be using HTTP methods while performing API testing. Okay. So again, we'll meet next weekend. Next weekend, we'll continue with this remaining, okay, things like the other HTTP methods followed by the response codes and all those stuff and remaining other topics. We'll see in the next weekend. So any questions from today's session, guys? Any questions from today's session? Today we have learned a lot of stuff. This HTTP methods we have learned. We have some learned some functionalities of this Postman tool. We have also learned, uh, the other stuff like that is JSON, some high level information we have learned. Okay, so all good, right? So anyone have any questions from today's session? All clear? Yes, it is clear for you. That's great. These are important aspects of the API things, guys. Okay, yeah, welcome, Jay. Correlation ID, what is that, Venkat? Correlation ID? Yeah, thanks for the feedback, Rajkumar. Venkat, what is this correlation ID that you are pinged in the chat box? Correlation ID. Do you want to communicate anything, Venkat, here regarding the correlation ID? Is it related to API testing? Is correlation ID related to API testing, Venkat? Okay, here. Do you see anything here? Headers are there. Okay. There are some headers. Any place where you can see the correlation? Okay. I even don't know that much about that, but let's find it out. Okay. What is the difference between header and correlation ID? Correlation or correlation ID? What is that actually? What is the difference between? Is it correlation or correlation ID, Venkat? What exactly it is? Tell me the correct things. Is it a correlation or correlation ID? Okay. API testing and headers. First, let's find out about headers, guys. Okay, headers. What are headers in API testing? Headers in API testing are key value pairs sent along with HTTP requests or responses. They use it to define content types, like which format and all those stuff. Okay. So here, what are the header types we can see here? What is a content type is one header. Okay. This API request is using JSON as a content type. What is a content length? Such kind of details. Okay. Such kind of details, high level details like, encoding formats, all those kind of things will come under the headers. All those things will come under the headers. Okay. Define content types, API keys or authentication tokens, set custom fields. In headers, we can also set correlation IDs, custom fields like correlation IDs, content caching, language encoding, all these things. Okay. Will come in the header part of the things. Common headers in API testing are content type, authorization, accept, user agent, X correlation ID, custom header to track a request across services. Okay. So, why? Let's see. Correlation ID, right? Correlation ID in depth. Correlation ID in depth.
I am asking here, what's the main difference between the header correlation ID and the auto-generated correlation ID?
Okay. Do you know that answer?
I mean, like, the correlation is nothing but it's in. I mean, like, we will be getting the unique response from the server.
Hmm. Is a
So
unique identifier used to trace and tie together a series of related operations across systems and services. Okay, distributed microservices based architectures. Okay, correlation ID is a unit string, usually a UUID, passed along with API requests, messages, or service calls. It remains constant across the calls that are part of the same transaction. If multiple API requests are there, they'll be using the same correlation ID. Is that correct, Venkat?
that differs from methods, one
Okay,
method to one method.
okay. Used for tracing, debugging, and logging in complex systems. In monolithic logs from a single request live in one place in microservices or even driver architectures. A single client request might trigger dozens of internal service calls. Without a correlation ID, logs are fragmented and hard to connect. With a correlation ID, you can trace the entire path of the request end to end. Okay, so we can see this correlation ID in our Postman tool here. There's a correlation ID kind of stuff here somewhere, right? So, okay, maybe in the previous one I got, I think so.
It will come in the response headers.
Response headers, okay. Get orders request with X correlation ID ABC 123 API gateway or front end service accepts the request and logs it with correct correlation ID, passes the same ID to downstream services. Okay, if there is a request and it has some other resultant request to be triggered, this correlation ID will be passed to track everything together, they are saying. Microservice A is calling the microservice B with same correlation ID, logs and performs it as sends the ID to any other service it talks to, end-to-end logs. You can go now grep logs by ABC to track the full live request, okay? Downstream services requests, okay? Okay. I never tried this out, but maybe there, and one of the topic may be there, okay? So if you have any information, Venkat, you can share, okay? Or the this WhatsApp group, okay? We'll discuss more on that later. Fine?
Sure. I mean, like the correlation ID in the header, what we are passing is that will be sending to the server. But
Okay.
what's the response in the correlation ID? It is auto generated by the server, and that is also will be the unique. So
Okay.
that's what I am thinking. I mean, if, correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay. Okay. So you are saying you're asking me the difference. Now, first of all, the correlation ID we have seen just now. And we need to see the header correlation ID and auto-generated difference between, right? This one you are saying.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Difference between, okay. Okay, we'll send in the HTTP header request along with the Postman, that thing, header section. Trace across distributed calls and all. Okay, same workflow, they will be tracked together like this. Auto-generated correlation ID. This is a correlation ID that is generated automatically by the receiving services if the incoming request does not have one. Created internally when no correlation ID is provided. Okay, ensures every request has a correlation ID for traceability even if the caller didn't supply one. Typically generated as a of another unique value. Okay. So if you are sending something and the correlation ID you are not sending, if it is required, then automatically auto correlation ID will be created. That's what is there saying. If the incoming request doesn't have a X correlation ID, the service at the server side will generate that X correlation ID that is called as a auto generated correlation ID they are saying. You see, provided by the client or upstream means from the Postman tool you are passing it, okay? But here if you are not passing something and if it is required due to some other things, reasons and in microservice architecture or something, if it is required but you are not passing it from the client side like Postman tool or something, then server side service will create that one. That kind of created one is called as auto generated. Ensures every request is traceable. When incoming request lacks a correlation ID, server will create a auto-generated correlation ID, they are saying. Keeps the same ID, starts a new correlation context if missing. I think you got the answer, right, Venkat? Venkat, did you get the answer for this? Hello? Yeah. Okay. You are saying yes. That's fine. Okay. Fine. A lot of topics may be there. That's okay. That's a very good thing that we have understood something about correlation ID also today. That's great. Any other thing you can bring it onto the table, guys. We'll discuss much. Okay. Okay. And clarify the stuff together. example where X correlation ID is used in API request. Okay, let's see. Okay, use this ID in logs for traceability. This correlation ID will be used in the logs by the server for traceability. Passes the same X correlation ID to downstream services if it calls them. Okay, then server responds with the same correlation ID in the response headers. Same correlation ID will be in the response headers. You will get the same correlation ID if you have provided it from the request. And this correlation ID can be used by other services, service requests. Returning the same correlation ID helps client link responses to their request for debugging. It links multiple services and asynchronous calls together. Great for distributed systems, microservices, and complex API ecosystems. Chaining, yes, chaining of APIs, correct. Okay, so this is a very good thing. Correlation ID is something that is a very good item for today. Okay, so fine. That's all, guys. That's all. Let's try to learn more the same way in the coming days also, and learn more things that we don't know and try to understand. At the same time, learning the fundamentals along with that some advanced topics. It will actually help us in learning API testing in a better way. Fine then. So any other questions, anyone? Any other questions before we wind up for today? Does anyone have any other questions? Okay. That's all for today then. Let's be, from tomorrow again, Selenium Java automation sessions will start at 8 p.m. IST, where you know that I'll be starting core Java from tomorrow, guys. From tomorrow, core Java sessions will start. So attend that accordingly. And again, on Saturday and Sunday, we'll go with the API testing things. Okay. Bye, everyone. Take care.